your consciousness needs to continue developing.
Absolutely.
And we talked about, the serving others and the giving back, and that.
Yes, that is wonderful. It resonates with me big time. Woo-hoo!
Yes, and you can only do that when you get out of the reptilian and the lower mammal brain, which is mostly focused on survival and fitting in. Mm-hmm. And so last night we had a little discussion, and the speaker was talking about, finding their purpose and that greater calling. And I said, well, what you're actually talking about we call the porpoise brain. The porpoise brain that the cetaceans, the dolphins, and the whales have an extra growth or a more developed area of their brain, which humans have a prefrontal cortex. But it has to do probably with being more altruistic and serving and cross-species identification. And that's the part that mankind, I think, we're still working on developing.
Right.
When we get back to our primitive kind of tribal brain, we end up creating wars and fighting with each other.
Fear-based, right.
Fear-based survival reptilian functions are not where we need to be, but when the brain devolves, that's where we end up. So we want to evolve as a species and not become a cancer on the planet.
Yeah. The good news is that people are learning how important it is to use the good and to be the good, to be the change you want to see.
Yes.
And energy is so important. And thank you for mentioning that. Dr. Brown, thank you so much for sharing this very important, comprehensive information on your Healthy People program. I know many folks can benefit from what they learned today and will in the future. I look forward to speaking with you again next week, where we will be discussing oxygen utilization.
Okay,
if you, the listener, can think of someone, you're welcome, my pleasure. If you, the listener, can think of someone who might benefit from what we've talked about today, please go ahead and share this podcast with them. I'm sure they'll thank you for it. And you can reach Dr. Timothy Brown by telephone. Now, folks, get your paper and pencil ready. That number is 604-538-3017. Again, that's 604-538-3017. Or you can visit him and his staff online at www.oceanparkhealth.com. Dr. Brown, thanks so much. It's been a pleasure, and we'll talk next time.
Okay, thank you. Everybody have a good day. Bye.
Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the Natural Therapies Show with Dr. Tim Brown, architect and creator of Ocean Park Natural Therapies. If you feel that you are a few steps farther down the health ladder than you should be, the naturopathic doctors at Ocean Park Natural Therapies want you to know that you can be helped. For more information and to book your appointment, call 604-538-3017. That's 604-538-3017. And visit them online at www.oceanparkhealth.com.
This episode is a production of Jam Media. For information on hosting your own web radio show, visit jammedia.com. That's www.jambmedia.com.
On your computer, on your smartphone, on your Wi-Fi radio, we're localwebradio.fm.
The opinions expressed by our guest and host on localwebradio.fm do not necessarily reflect the views of Jam Media or its owners. No expressed or implied opinions of any product or service should be considered an endorsement or recommendation of any kind by Jam Media or its owners.